Welcome to Talkporium, the place where I talk about anything and everything. My name's Denise, and I'm the host of the show. This is my first podcast in the year 2020. I took a break after starting my podcast for a couple months because I was busy relocating. I moved into a new home, hoping to get back on schedule and start making at least weekly podcasts, if not more frequently. Today, I want to introduce you to some words or terms that I'm going to be using over this course of this year in this podcast. These are terms that I've made up or found on the internet, but they deal with different events and things happening in the world and in my life currently. The first word is chameleon mentality. Now, chameleon is a lizard that changes color based on its surrounding. And to me, a chameleon mentality is an individual who changes the facts to suit their need or their agenda. Here's an example. I'm going to compare two different situations and how a chameleon mentality type person would respond or react to these situations. The first event happened on December 29th at a church in Texas. A man opened fire, ended up killing two parishioners and injuring several others before he was shot and killed himself. The other event happened just the other day here in the county where I live. It happened at an auto parts store in Gwinnett County where a man went into the store. His intent was to rob the store, and one of the employees there was a retired police officer. He had a concealed carry weapon license and actually had his weapon on him. And the gentleman that was there, and I use the word gentleman loosely, that was there to rob the store, noticed that the store employee had a weapon on him and ended up shooting and killing him. The first situation where the man opened fire on the church, someone with a chameleon mentality is going to say there needs to be gun laws preventing individuals from getting guns so that they can't go into a church and open fire. No mention of the fact that the people in the church that were legally carrying weapons actually stopped other individuals from being killed or harmed. Their focus is going to be on the fact that the man who opened fire was able to get a weapon. Now, switch this situation and talk about the shooting that happened at the auto parts store. The people with the chameleon mentality aren't going to mention the fact that the robber had a gun. Their issue is the fact that the store employee was carrying a gun. Their idea is that if that store employee hadn't been carrying a gun, then the thief that went into the store to rob it would have simply robbed the store, got the store's money, walked out, and nobody would have been killed. But here's the issue and the reality as far as I'm concerned. They're overlooking the fact of what is hard facts. The hard facts are this. At the church in Texas, had those civilians not had their weapons, if civilians were not entitled to carry weapons, the shooter could have possibly killed and would have killed or injured many other individuals. Okay? Criminals do not care whether it's illegal or legal to carry a gun. If a criminal or somebody with an evil heart wants to get a hold of a weapon, they're going to get a hold of a weapon. So the fact in the Texas shooting is this. Had law-abiding citizens not had the right to carry weapons, the criminal would have been able to injure many others. Now, here's the facts of the shooting at the auto parts store. Yes, it's a fact that the thief went in there, had a weapon, and killed an innocent person. And that innocent person got killed because they were carrying a weapon. But that's not necessarily the truth. You don't know. That thief hasn't been caught yet. That thief may or may not have killed that store worker whether they were carrying a weapon or not. The fact is that once again, a criminal had a hold of a gun and used it for illegal, harmful purposes. So you can't compare the two, and you can't say that, oh, criminals shouldn't be able to have guns, so all guns should be illegal, and all law abiding citizens shouldn't have the right to carry guns because all it does is leads to trouble. The truth is, what is causing all of the harm and shootings and other horrible acts in this world is that there are individuals out there with evil in their hearts. It doesn't matter whether they have a gun, a hammer, a knife. If an individual has evil in their hearts, they're going to find a way to do harm. So the chameleon mentality individuals need to stop focusing on how they can spin the different situations to make gun control a priority, or their gun control agenda the topic of discussion. The topic of discussion should be, what can we do to rid this world of evil? What can we do to turn people's hearts from evil into goodness? Okay, some other words I want to talk about. Let's talk about the word Yentasaurus. What is a Yentasaurus? A Yentasaurus is a person who is always in everyone else's business. Now, I'm not just talking about someone who loves to gossip or is interested in hearing about what is going on in someone else's life. A Yentasaurus is someone who can't wait to hear about your trials and tribulations. They're eager to hear about all your problems. They want all the details about everything that's going on, and they listen and respond with judgment. Now, it's a little bit different than like a gossip monger, because here's the thing. A Yentasaurus is a person that is one-sided with the information. And what I mean by that is they want to sit there and find out every single detail about what is happening in your life, whether good or bad. Now, the majority of the time, a Yentasaurus wants that information so that they can turn around and gossip about it, so that they have something to say to their friend, their coworker, the person at church that they see every week. But here's the thing with the Yentasaurus. They do not want to share their information. They want to keep all of their private information to themselves. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with keeping your information private. What I have a problem with are these Yentasaurus people who they want details about everybody else's life, but then won't share their own. And I think that needs to be a two-way street. So if you're coming to me and you're wanting little details about what's happening with my children, what's happening with my social life, or my relationships, or my work, then you need to do the same and tell me about what's happening in your life. Now, granted, I openly share a lot about what's happening in my life just because, you know what? I'm the type of person that believes you need to do you. Don't worry about what other people think or might be saying about you. You just need to do you. But here's the thing. I get really tired of being surrounded by Yentasauruses that want every little detail about what's happening in my life, but they don't want to share what's happening in theirs, which is true. It's their right. They don't have to share with me. But then don't come asking questions and nitpicking every single thing about my life. Give me my privacy. Give me my space. And what aggravates me about a Yentasaurus is a lot of these people are individuals who are trying to live the picture-perfect Christmas card family photo. You know, the one where the perfect wife, the perfect husband, the perfect kids. Nothing is ever happening in their lives. Everything's just rosy. You know what? Life isn't like that. There's a lot of hard things and difficult things that go on in this world. We have the ability to communicate and sympathize and empathize with each other. And you might be going through something difficult in your life, and you may want to keep it private, and that's okay. But sometimes it's beneficial to talk to others about it, not only to prevent from keeping it bottled up inside, but one of two things may happen. One, you may be helping someone else by talking about what's going on in your life. Maybe what's going on in your life is also going on in someone else's life. And so you have then create a common bond, and you opening up about what's going on in your life may actually be helping someone else realize that they're not alone. The other thing that may happen if you open up about what's going on in your life is maybe the people that you talk to about it, maybe they've been through similar situations. Maybe they have some good advice or thoughts that might help you work through what you're going through. Okay, I've got 4 other words that I want to discuss before I end this podcast, and they have to deal with relationships. I'm almost 52 and single, and one of the things that just drives me crazy is there's people out there that just think, oh, you've got to meet someone. Oh, you've got to put yourself out there. Oh, you should, join the online dating, or you should go out to bars, or you should see if a friend has a friend that they can hook you up with. I don't know where in this world people got the idea that we have to be with somebody else to be happy. I am perfectly happy by myself. Sure, if somebody comes along and we just happen to click, I'm open to that. But I don't want to be out there in the bars. I don't want to be out there doing the online dating because I'm happy by myself. And here's the thing. Now, there's plenty of different types of personalities out there. And the 4 words that I'm going to go over don't sum up all of the individuals that are out there. But these are the 4 main types of people that I've run into trying to date after the age of 40. Now, these people are probably still out there under the age of 40. They're probably all age ranges, but I'm just talking from experience as a middle-aged woman. Now, the first type of person that I run into is what I call a hash brown. Now, a hash brown is just like at Waffle House. They are covered and smothered. And what I mean by covered and smothered is they want to smother you. They want to be with you 100% of their free time. They can't go anywhere or do anything without you. They want you to share their hobbies. They want to share your hobbies. It's like they have to be in a relationship. Or if they are not with somebody else, they are not happy. The second type of person is what I call the broken person. Now, this can be broken emotionally, physically, or socially. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying if you've got a physical disability that you're a broken person. What I'm talking about are people who are broken in the sense that they're not looking for a girlfriend or a wife. They're looking for a mother, someone to take care of them, someone to help them do the different things that they're unable to do by themselves. Or they're looking for a counselor. They've got some emotional issues that instead of dealing with themselves, they don't want you to be a girlfriend or a wife. They want you to be their personal counselor. And then there's the people that want a nurse. They want somebody to take care of them. Here's an example. One time I had this guy, he said, "Oh, why don't you come over and hang out with me? You can be my nurse for the night." You know what? That doesn't appeal to me. I don't want to be serving you, getting up, getting your drinks, getting you something to eat, and taking care of your wounds and stuff. Sure, if I'm in a relationship and somebody gets hurt or needs help, I don't mind taking care of them. I mean, I've had situations myself where I've needed a little bit of help. I couldn't be totally independent. That's a different thing. If there's a situation that occurs, like for instance, when I broke my ankle, I needed some extra help. But I didn't go out there looking for someone to specifically take care of me. And it wasn't a permanent situation. It's different if you're in love and you're married, or you've been dating somebody for a long time and they have a car accident or get hurt and you end up having to take care of them. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who are perfectly capable, or should be perfectly capable, of taking care of themselves, that are out there looking for a mother, a counselor, or a nurse. Those are people that I call broken. And then the third type of person I run into is what I call a sugar cookie. These are the people that say the sweet things to you. They build you up, say how great you are, how you're their best friend, they can't survive without you, you're so smart. And the thing is with the sugar cookie is they don't really mean what they're saying. They're saying all of those things because they've got an agenda. They have something they need or want from you. It could be they want you to loan them some money, or they want you to fill out some paperwork for them, or who knows, maybe they just need a date to the movies. But they're just sugarcoating everything, hoping that it builds you up enough that you don't realize that they're being fake and just want you to do something for them. Those are the sugar cookie people. Now, the last type of person I run into is what I call a narcy. You might have heard of them be referred to as a narcissist. I've shortened it up to narcy. A narcy is someone who is self-centered, believes the world revolves around them. They admire themselves. They think they are perfect, and everybody else is the one that is the problem or has the flaws. They never take ownership of what they may or may not have done to cause the situation. Everybody else is to blame, and nobody's as perfect as they are. All right, so those are the four terms that I've come up with for people when I've been out there in the dating world. Like I said, I'm sure there's still perfectly good, great people out there, and there's other types of individuals. Those are just four fun ones that I came up with. So that's going to end this episode of my podcast today. I hope you enjoyed it and tune in for other ones. Please forgive any noise and the little bark that you hear. For Christmas, I got a little puppy named Jax, and even though I've tried, it's very difficult to do the podcast without him making noise. So he just wanted to make his presence known. Thanks for listening. Have a great day. Hope you come back again. Bye.